after a store employee attacked him for not wearing a mask.
I was in shock. I was embarrassed. I've lost money over this. I have staples in my head right now.
Cortland Perry showed us the injuries he says he received during a violent encounter with a worker at this Family Dollar on MLK Drive in Southwest Atlanta Tuesday morning. Perry tells Fox 5 he stopped at the store on his way to work and forgot to put on his mask before entering the business. Perry says an employee confronted him for not wearing the face covering.
He referred to the policy at the front. He said, you have to have a mask on. And I was trying to explain to him. I said, yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of forgot it in the midst of me rushing for work. I apologize.
Perry says the man followed him to the checkout counter, hurling insults at him as the store manager tried to defuse the situation. Perry decided he'd had enough.
In the midst of me leaving, this gentleman reached into his waistband, grabbed a gun, and hit me in the back of my head with it.
Perry says the man then pushed him out of the store, got in his car, and drove off. Perry called the police. Medics transported the 40-year-old to the hospital for treatment for a head wound. In the police report obtained by Fox 5, the responding officer states a store surveillance camera recorded the incident. An APD spokesman says the investigation is ongoing.
Very concerned that this is going on because nobody knows he had a weapon but him. You see what I'm saying? He could have killed me. He could have killed an employee. He could have killed a child. This is alarming to me that this can happen.
Alright, greetings. I'm Tieesha, back with another great video. Thank you so much for joining me on this pre-recorded video. I had a few things I want to get off my chest. Now, I was watching some clips on TV and also seeing some posts online. I saw that R&B artist Trey Songz, he was arrested. And he was arrested at an NFL game. And reviewing the video from different angles on TMZ and stuff like that, you know, it appears as though, well, what they say happened was that he was being heckled or, you know, bothered by some people a couple of rows up. He summoned, or someone in his group summoned for help from the authorities. However, the authorities took it upon themselves to enforce Trey Songz to like put a mask over his whole face. And it resulted in him being arrested. But hang on a second, you know, he was the victim requesting help, but we don't care about your help or you needing help, put on a damn mask. And that's the crap that gets on my nerves, because this whole mask thing is really getting out of control. It really is. Prior to, you know, Dorona, we'll call it Dorona so I don't get flagged, but I'm pretty sure I will because of this whole censorship thing, which is a whole nother video. You saw these stations at the hospital and at the ER where at the entrances is a sign. If you're snotting, sneezing, coughing, any of that, you know, put on a mask to contain that. Absolutely no problem with that. I've worn masks in the past voluntarily on airplanes because I'll see people doing open mouth coughs, or, you know, I have this picture from Facebook, if I can find it, where I was at work in this room and this guy came to work and said, hey, I have a virus, and he's doing open mouth coughs and he's still typing on the computer on the shared workspaces. So I put on one. He refused to put on one. I put on one, and then I ended up leaving for preventative medicine leave. Okay, I took some time off. However, this mask thing is really getting out of hand. You have people in establishments who totally just ignore what the CDC guidelines are as far as, you know, different masks, the exceptions, you know, people who are not to wear one. And also, you know, it's like they're just making up their own rules, and it's getting to a point where now it's out of hand where people are getting arrested. Like our brother Trey Songz, he could have lost his life with the way climate and things are going when it comes to law enforcement and black men. You know, it could have went way out of hand. Okay, he could have lost his life. And one thing that I wanted to make this video for, because I was watching a clip by Wendy Williams and she turned around and called the man a turd. You know, hold on for a minute. Like, that actually made me really upset. Like, who the hell is she to call this man a turd? You know, and that's just when I just lost all respect. The little bit, the little iota of respect, or, you know, I have for her, whatever, is completely gone, because you don't just do that to someone. Like this, like I said, this whole mask thing is getting out of freaking hand. I've had people who where by CDC guidelines, they're not wearing the proper so-called mask, but they don't take into consideration if you are an exception to the rule. The CDC says you should not wear one, just social distance, just making up their own freaking rules, and I'm really over it. But now it's gotten to the point where we have people who take it upon themselves to be mask bullies, who have, you know, deputized themselves as the mask patrol, and, you know, just bully other people, not even knowing their whole story, their whole background. When I'm looking at that video, you know, Trey Songz was there with people that he traveled with, so you can assume that they were there like in the same household together, and they're socially distanced from everybody else. Why the hell would you have one on? I do not get it. You know, if you have air properly flowing, you have the spacing, you know, you're going to take the mask off to drink a beer or to eat your hot dog at the stadium. But riddle me this: how is it that I still have to breathe in people's secondhand smoke, you know, but I gotta put on a mask and stuff like that? I don't get it. Make it make sense to me. And yes, this is just a rant. Yes, it is my opinion, and this is my space for it. If this video stays up, it stays up. If it goes down, it goes down. However, the comments will be filtered, because I'm not going to just let anyone come on here and, you know, just have a literal diarrhea on my video. That's not going to happen. But there's another story, and I believe it was out of Ohio, where a woman was at, you know, some kind of child's sports game, and she had the mask below her nose, and she actually had a medical condition where she actually was the exception, did not have to wear a mask. She was actually, you know, forced to leave, embarrassed. Her child could no longer participate in those activities, and she actually, you know, had a doctor's note. And that's the thing. People don't respect HIPAA. They expect you to have on a t-shirt and provide them with your HIPAA information on why you can't wear a mask. You're supposed to automatically, when you see somebody without a mask, automatically assume they have a medical condition in which they cannot wear one. You know, and plus, common freaking sense. Common sense. I'm not going to sit up here and go hands-on with somebody to be the mask patrol and go through all that. I am not. I've been spit on before. You know, these are just some of the things that happen in public. After I got spit on, I learned to stay away from someone who was likely to spit on me. You know, but this place that we're at, it's really a sad place. And I saw this other article too, where somebody had took a picture of the news, and they're talking about put on a triple mask. What kind of shit is this? Why in the hell? Okay, I see this as a danger, because people actually be wearing masks in their cars by themselves. Now I see people outside riding bikes and taking walks with freaking 3 and 4 masks on. So tell me, how are you properly supposed to summon for help if all of this is muffled? Which brings me to this shameless plug. Make sure you head over to Tieesha.com to pick up your personal audible alarm with LED strobe and flashlight. That's how you can summon for help if you need it, and you can use this alarm. It's available at Tieesha.com. It also has a flashlight, the strobe, and also the audible alarm. Comes in 5 different colors. Alright, however, you know, it's just too many dangers. And it's like, before, if you are over 12 years old and you are wearing a mask, you will be arrested and charged. And now people wear masks, still go out and commit crimes and, you know, stuff like that. It's beyond me. It's not making sense right now. Yeah, let me know how you feel, what you think. You know, I'm not against, you know, like, if someone chooses to wear a mask, if you choose to wear one, go right ahead. Yes, we still got to deal with people who have poor home training, who, you know, still do the open mouth coughs. And I told y'all about that when I lived up in Washington, and, you know, what people do and what that means, you know, when people come and they see you in this open mouth cough. Also, people are still coughing and spitting on the ground. So you're going to step on people's spit, and some of y'all still wearing outside shoes in y'all house, so y'all walking all that phlegm and stuff all through your house. Your baby's crawling on the floor, eating stuff off the floor, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But there's, you know, a bunch of other dangers to watch out for, and I just think that with this whole thing going on right here, it's misguided, misdirected, and it's just a complete shit show. And I'm totally over masks. So I'm not in support of it. It should be optional. You wear it. But people just need to leave you the hell alone and stop being, you know, self-deputized mask police. And it's causing people to get arrested. And there's also this other law that came out where, you know, it would be, masks will be enforced on public transportation and, you know, trains, planes, and automobiles and stuff like, not really automobiles, but, you know, planes, trains, and public transportation. Who is going to be the target of that? Who are the police likely to go hands-on with, even resort to other, you know, weapons and, you know, deadly force options to enforce it, okay? And, you know, I went to a couple of stores, and I know that people can attest to this too. Went to certain stores, saw what happened, you know, up in Banneker City. Who's not wearing a mask and who gets away with it? But who gets penalized and picked on and fucked with over these stupid dumbass masks, okay? So that's just how I feel. I don't care really if you feel adverse. I really don't care if you have anything nasty to say, because I'll be filtering the comments, and that's just it. But I welcome you to leave yours respectfully, okay? But I'm really over it. Of course, you know, I agree if you're, you know, talking with someone and you're bound to spit, but you shouldn't be that close anyway. We now know, you know, to kind of give each other some breathing room. Respect somebody else's bubble. Also, too, it needs to be implemented. If you're sick, stay home. If you're sick, stay home. And I hope that, you know, employers are respecting. If somebody calls in sick, don't pressure them. You know, when you got to come in. Also, to keep your sick children home. One of the places where it was really hard to get a damn day off was in the military. It was hard as hell because you still had to come to work sick and beg to get a sick day. But by the time you get that sick day, it's time to go home anyway. So you just expose everybody to it, you know, even with sick children. Because, you know, you had to be there. You had to do this, or you're going to be AWOL. You got no choice. You didn't have a choice but to take your sick child and drop them off. So as people are returning back to work, these are some things that need to be taken into consideration. Manners. Wash your ass, wash your face, brush your teeth, and just, you know, if you're going to cough, go wash your hands. And teachers, we're teaching children to dab on it. Cough in there, you know, use your tissue, throw it away, wash your hands. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what to say, but we're at a really scary place right now. And as much as I am an extrovert, I love being around people and being out. It's stupid stuff like this and rules that people just make up on the fly. There is no standard. No standard. That just really makes me distance myself and just not want to be bothered. Of course, I want to be bothered with y'all, which is why I'm here, and I will be uploading more. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all so much. And I will see y'all in the next video. Thank you for listening to my righteous rant, and I will see y'all on the next video.